Hi there, my name is Kenneth and I'm the Lone Dice Guy. Thanks so much for tuning in to my solo Dungeons & Dragons campaign as Ming Zao, a monk of the Order of the Dragon. Let's dive right in. So when we last left off, our intrepid hero, who's actually not very good at anything, he managed to get help from the merchant militia lieutenant named Modig Soldad, who came and helped him free the village at the base of the mountains from the horde of zombies at its gates. In the process, though, he ends up losing the woman that he had kind of fallen for, named Leah. In this process, he gets angry, he's frustrated, he's mad, he goes to challenge his master to combat one-on-one and gets thrashed. He gets stomped. So, yeah, Modig goes up to the monastery and interrupts him about to be killed probably, and brings him back down to the mountain, to the village, the base of the mountain to recover and kind of get back on his feet. Modig leaves without really saying anything, but Karvok, his uncle and longtime friend of Ming, stays and essentially lifts Ming's spirits. And so we're kind of picking up right where we left off, essentially there. Ming has kind of agreed, like, hey, it's time to get up. It's time to move on. He's now healed a bit better. He's now getting better at what he's doing. He's all of his wounds have healed, and he's doing his practice kata every day again. He's ready to go, right? Karvok, him and Karvok have the kind of one last meal together. They say their goodbyes. Karvok gives him some rations for the road. Of course, Karvok knows, and this is the way Karvok works, is that, hey, he's glad to help, but he expects that kindness to be paid back someday. We'll see. This is not the last we'll see of Karvok. And so Ming, of course, asked last time, where did the undead horde come from? And the captain of the local village watch said, from the west. And so Ming is determined to figure out where they came from, figure out the source of them, and nip it in the bud so this doesn't happen again. I've already done the preliminary work of getting through our scene setup and making sure everything is right on the emulator page from Mythic. And so I want to make it kind of clear that whenever you're playing this game, whenever you're playing the GM emulator, whenever you're using the GM emulator, I definitely suggest you keep these pages and keep these notes up and have them to reference, because you're going to see a story kind of unfold on these pages, and you never know when you might want to use that later, right? Even the GM Mythic emulator tool book says that it could be used as a writing, inspiration for writing an actual book or story. So, who knows? All right. So I've updated our characters. We've got Ming Zao, of course, his best friend Tai Yang and rival at the monastery, his master Da Long. Then we have Karvok Soldat and Modig Soldat. Karvok is his old-time trader friend who's traveled the world, regaled him with stories of what's going on in the world. Modig Soldat is the lieutenant of the merchant militia who helped him in the last adventure, and Modig's captain is Ivan Sano. So we have kind of a full cast of characters now, and we're probably going to add, of course, we're going to definitely add more to that later. Now, of course, whenever we add characters, we'll add that name to the list, and we'll figure it out as we go along. That's part of the appeal of this game, is nothing's really planned. We figure it out as we go. So as we do every time when we start a new session or start a new scene, we roll a d10 against Chaos. Chaos rank is 5, so let's roll. 8. So it's over the chaos factor. It doesn't change anything. Now, normally I would roll, if it did change, I would roll to see what we're doing. So I don't really know what to do right now. I know we're going west, right? And so we're going to keep it as is. Nothing really changes. Ming is going west, and he's heading towards the source of whatever undead has come along their way. And so actually, I'm going to go to the fate chart first thing. Let's dig into this. Now, our first question really is there any settlements along between where Ming is and, I think we said there's a desert in the west. Are there any other settlements in the mountain range between here and the edge of the desert? I think it's pretty likely, somewhat likely. I would say likely. It's just likely, right? That is a 94. That's a no. So there are no other settlements between the village and the base of Ming Zao and the edge of the desert in the western side of the mountains. which I'm going to take a pause here. The world I'm playing in is not one that I'm discovering as I go along. It's the same world that I've built for almost all of my Dungeons and Dragons campaigns that I run with my players. So I'll probably post like a link to. I'll probably post a map and some other stuff in a future video. And so in the mountains Ming is in, there is a vast kind of desert and savanna kind of to the west of where he is. So he's heading to the desert to find the source of the undead that had come and destroyed his village. Basically destroyed the one person he cared about, Leah. And so there's no other settlements between him and the desert. So then the second question is the source of the undead in the mountains? This is something that Ming won't know, but we need to know. So is the source, I'm going to say 50-50. Is it in the mountains or is it in the desert? So is it in the mountains? That is a 68. That's a no. It's not in the mountains. So it's going to be in the desert then. All right. So as Ming's walking along, there's, he's going down an elevation. So remember, he's never left the village. He's never left his monastery in the village at the base of the mountain before. He's kind of a fish out of water at this point, but he's also excited. He's also super excited about getting to be out into the world. All the stories that Karvaka told him. He's just super excited to be here. Now, as Ming is walking, though, he does notice immediately that, of course, these are the mountains. There's going to be dangers, right? There has to be dangers. And so, as he's walking, he hears a, oh, oh, in the desert, or in the distance. Now, of course, he knows there are wolves and other creatures in the mountain. So, they chart, are wolves coming after him? I think it's somewhat likely. 58, that is a yes. So, we got some wolves incoming. Now, Ming kind of is looking around. And he's in the mountains, right? So there's going to be some wolves and other animals. Where are they coming from? So, D4. D4, 1 north, 2 is south, 3 is east, 4 is west. 3. So 1, 2, 3. So coming from east. So coming back from the way he came. So these wolves probably came for they smelt the undead and maybe thought, ooh, food or something. I don't know. And so they came, didn't find him. So how many wolves are there going to be? Let's roll a D8, and that's how many wolves Ming's coming after Ming. And yeah, let's do that. 5 wolves. All right. So Ming is walking down the path. It's about mid-morning, and he hears the oh in the distance, and he's thinking, it's no big deal. They're not coming. They're not nearby. And he's going to, just as he's walking the road, he's kind of taking in the scenery and looking around. That's when he hears the as he turns around, back up the path he came, and he sees 5 wolves, hightailing, barreling down on him. Now, wolves are pack animals, so they're not gonna wait. They're not gonna wait one at a time. They're gonna come after him. So let's get into combat now. So Ming is going after these wolves. This is not good. This is not good at all. All right, but they're not super strong, but still they can really, really hurt you. All right. So we're gonna give them the surprise round because they're barreling down at him, and Ming's. This is his first combat outside of getting thrashed by his master. I want to give him a win, okay, guys. I want to give him a win. Anyway, now these wolves are gonna come after him, and they're just gonna start going to town. So the first there's 5 of them. Remember, they get something called pack tactics, so they have advantage on attack rolls. If one ally is within 5 feet away, well, they're coming at him at a line, so they're all going to get advantage. Hope they don't kill Ming before he can act. So the first one is going to take a swipe with an 13. Sorry, 9 plus 4 equals 13. Yes, I am very bad at math, just so you know. So 13 to hit, that completely misses. The second one's an 11. That misses. Okay, 3 more. The next one, yeah, that's going to hit. So 12 plus 4 equals 16. No, it doesn't! His AC is 17. So, yeah, that's going to miss. Oh, that's 3. Okay, maybe we're gonna do good. Maybe this is gonna be fine. Oh yeah, 17 plus 4, 21. That will definitely hit. And then the last one, 19. Oh gosh, 19 plus 4. Yeah, that definitely hit. So 2 of them are gonna get hit off, but the other 3 are not. So their damage is going to be 2d4 plus 2. So the first hit is gonna do 8 damage. So 2 plus 4 equals 6 plus 2 equals 8 plus 2 equals 4. Actually, I'm sorry, 10 damage. Yikes. And then the next 2. 1 plus 3 equals 4 plus 4 equals 8 damage. Whew. So that was actually a pretty sizable chunk, yeah. So these wolves come barreling down the path. Ming quickly, grabs his staff and spins it and kind of gets into a ready stance. The first wolf comes diving down and just goes for him. He quickly takes the staff and just kind of pushes him to the side as he comes up. The next one comes up and gets his claws and tries to slash at Ming's leg, and Ming quickly pulls his leg out of the way and kind of gives a kind of a warding kick off, and the wolf runs past. The next one comes and just barrels straight towards him. Ming quickly just jumps over him, no problem. But when he lands, the moment he lands, he feels a onto his right ankle, and he looks down, and the wolf is he's just going to town, and trying to bite. He's not quite biting through the cloth on around Ming's leg with the wrappings around his leg, but he's going to town on it. And then Ming kind of quickly bats him off a little bit, and then just in time he feels haching, another wolf latch onto his wrist, and he kind of instinctively tries to pull away, and blood goes everywhere, and it hurts definitely. So he's got the blood dripping down his hand now, and he's got his ankle severely hurt, but he's not like he's okay for now. All right, it is his turn now though, and so so Ming is going to just go to town on these guys. He's gonna quickly take one of his attacks with his staff and just bam, bam, the 2 wolves in front of him. First wolf, he's gonna roll a 12 against their 13 armor class. That's gonna miss. And then the next one, it's a nat 1. Great start. So 30. We'll do a 30% chance to drop his staff. If it's higher than 30, he's fine. 53, good. He doesn't drop his staff, but he totally misses. He is going to activate his Flurry of Blows. He's going to activate Flurry of Blows, and so he's going to quickly, he misses those 2, then takes his foot up and just stomps down square onto the wolf's head. Yeah, 10 plus 7, that's going to hit for sure. And then the other one, nice. Same roll, 10 plus 7, 17. So now he's going to just stomp on 2 of them. And he's going to be doing, we upgraded our martial arts. So that's going to be a 1d6 plus 4. So first one, second one. All right. First one, he's going to do 5 points of damage and just stomp onto his foot. The second one, he's going to be doing 8 points of damage. So he stomps the hell when they kind of skirt away, but they're not done yet. So now the wolves you have 2 wolves in front of him, the other 3 behind him. So from the 3 behind him, only one of them is going to get advantage, and the 2 in front of them will get advantage because they're right next to each other. So they're going to go for it again. First attack. It's going to have advantage. Oh, goodness. Natural 20. So it definitely hits. Let's go ahead and roll that damage, 2d4, which means it's also going to be crit, so that's double the dice. Oh, geez. This is not a good start. This is not a good start at all. Oh, goodness gracious. So I've got 4, 8, 9, 10, plus 8, 18 damage. My goodness. So, Ming is trying to just swat them all away, swat the ones away as much as he can. He's just distracted, focused on getting these other wolves off, and he doesn't notice until the wolf's like jumping on him. But the wolf jumps and just bites square right here, right into straight into the muscle, and just not down deep. Kind of pulls a little bit. Blood goes as it jumps off. Ming pushes it on. He's like, ah, it hurts so much, but whatever. He's got to keep going on. So this is bad. This is really, really bad. Ming's not out yet. He's not down for the count yet, but this is not looking good. So that was only the first wolf. The second wolf gets advantage as well. Oh, thank God. All right, it's gonna miss entirely. So 11 plus 4 is 15. It's gonna miss entirely. The next one, it does not get advantage. Sorry. That's gonna hit. 16 plus 4 is 20. It's gonna hit. Next one is without advantage. That's going to miss. 10 plus 4 was 14. And then our last one is going to get advantage as well. And he's going to miss. Oh, thank goodness. So only one hit, and he got a really good hit. So now it's Ming's turn again. He's got to get out of this. So Ming, being completely surrounded, is going to take a moment to think really quickly. What should he do? What should he do? What should he do? He doesn't quite know what. He's going to first attack the two wolves in front of him. He's got to take them out first. So he's going to go after the first wolf and pray that we get a crit. Let me tell you what, man. All right, roll. Now I got to roll it inside the actual dice tray. 11 plus 7 is 18. That definitely hits. Roll for the next one. 5 plus 7 was 12, and their AC is 13. Yeah, he misses on that one. So the first one he does hit, he's going to take his staff and just bam, as hard as he can. Nice. 6 plus 4 equals 10 damage. That's going to bring this guy down. So he just brings his staff down and just cracks open the skull of the first wolf that really just tore into him. And you hear a ow, and it just kind of slumps down on the ground. He brings his staff around again to do it for the second one, completely whiffs and misses it. He then spins his staff into a defensive position. He's going to spend a key point to take the dodge action, thus giving his opponents disadvantage against him. And so the other three are they're circling around and they're getting angry. So here's the deal. Wolves are smart enough generally to bait and switch and feint and things like that. And so one of the things one of the wolves is going to do is going to lurch forward to kind of get Ming's attention. But the other wolf is going to attack him. And so this is going to be with advantage normally, but because Ming is taking a dodge action, it's disadvantage. That cancels out. It's just going to be a regular attack. And all right, 15, it's going to miss. Good. All right. Got scared for a minute. So this first wolf lunges at Ming, and Ming kind of notices the first wolf. He takes a step back, and he sees out of the corner of his eye the other wolf is going straight for his neck, right? And he quickly takes another step back, and the wolf just goes right in front of him. The wolf that fainted at first is now going to take his attack. Now, he's going to have disadvantage because Ming has taken the dodge action, and he's not next to his ally. Oh, good. So 8 plus 4 equals 12. He's going to miss. Ming again, he's going to come at him. He's going to take his staff and just kind of nudge him out of the way. And then the last one's going to come after him. He would normally have advantage, but because Ming is forcing him that disadvantage, it cancels out. Just a regular attack. Oh. It's going to hit. 14 plus 4 is 18. That's definitely going to hit Ming's armor class. And so that's 2d4. 6 plus 2 equals 8 damage to Ming. Now at this point, oh goodness gracious, Ming's at 1 hit point left. Goodness gracious. So Ming's at 1 hit point left. How did this go so bad so quickly? We just left. Oh my gosh. All right. So it's now Ming's turn. Ming didn't want to do this now, but it's time. So Ming's going to quickly run around, just run around the two wolves. He's going to in turn incur an attack of opportunity from the wolves, but he wants to have them in a line. He wants to have them in a line as much as he can. And then, so we'll say the first wolf gets their attack of opportunity off. Two of them, not all three, just two of them. So the first one's going to roll. First attack of opportunity, we're going to get that off. It's going to be a 3 plus a 4 is 7. That's going to miss. Second one. Oh, that's so close! All right. So, 12 plus 4 equals 16. His armor AC is 17. Oh, goodness. All right, so he just barely got out of that one alive. All right. So he's going to make sure they're all three lined up against each other. He's going to quickly do the movements he can to summon up the key from inside of him, inside of his belly, to bring it forth. And he's going to, air is going to form in front of him, and he's going to kind of grab it. And he's going to punch it forward with all of the might that he can. So he's going to send that forward. They have to make a strength saving throw. DC 15 now. Sweet. So, all three of them going to make this check. So, first one fails. Second one, not one. And third one, fail. Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Finally, some good news. All right. And then it's going to be 3d10 bludgeoning damage. This is last ditch, Hail Mary. Oh my goodness, Ming's going to die if someone doesn't do something. Attack. So let's do 3d10 damage. Yeah. So 10 plus 4 and 3. That's going to be 17 damage. That's going to bring 3 of them straight down. So he, boom, and kind of boom, 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 and just hits all 3 of them. Bam, 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 in a line, and takes them out. They just kind of go, kind of scatter around. Now they're all, one's over there, one's over this way, one's that on the floor over there, and he's like, he's that's the first time he's ever had to use that power in combat. So he's like, he's kind of feeling the power, and he's liking it. He likes it. There's still one more wolf though. So here's the question for the fate chart. Does the wolf run away, seeing his companion, seeing the others on the ground? I think it's very likely. I'm going to throw Ming a bone. That's 95. So that's a 95, and they're very likely, yes. Goodness gracious. So the wolf, the last wolf, is like looking around, looking at me, and he's got his staff, like, actually he dropped it today. He's got his hands up, looking at it, just kind of drilling into it. In his mind, he's screaming, go away, but he's just sitting there. The other wolf kind of goes, oh, he just turns around and takes off. He doesn't want anything to do with this anymore. Okay, my goodness, Ming sucks. We are now at 1 health point. So Ming kind of, after he kind of gets away, he just kind of steps back and he sits down on the ground. He's got blood kind of coming out of this wound. He's got to address it. Now, Ming is trained in medicine, and so we're going to do a quick medicine check. Yeah, 10 plus 15 plus 1, because he's got serious wounds. So 16. Medicine. Nice. Literally a 16. All right. Okay, so he rolls good whenever he needs to save his life, but so he's able to quickly wrap that up with some bandages and he takes off his shirt real quick and kind of cleans that and wraps some bandages as best he can, or actually more like this way, around that wound. And it's not perfect. He did better on this, obviously. This isn't perfect, but it'll stay the bleeding. He's at least cleaned it, and then he's also put bandages on it. So he quickly puts his shirt back on and pulls it tight, and that'll keep pressure on it at least for now. And he'll let the natural healing process take. And so literally, we're just going down the road, We've only been going for a couple hours and we already feel like it's already time to take a rest. So we're going to roll now and an investigation check. See if we can find a place to sit. So 10 chaos rank, I think -2, so 13, because it's pretty, it's, there's going to be places to sit. 12. So he's going to be looking, but he doesn't see any place that's really suitable, and rather, he's actually rather exposed to the elements and also to any other animals that want to come looking. So he's obviously sad that he had to kill the wolves, but it's going to happen. So I don't know what's going to happen right now, and so it's time to roll a random event from our fate chart. He is trying to find a place to hunker down, to rest at least for a couple hours and heal up a bit, but is that going to happen? So, random event. 77 is ambiguous, so don't really know if it's going to be positive or not. 76, yeah, the line's in the bottom, yeah. No, it's a 9 then, yeah. 79 is going to be intolerance. 84, status quo. Intolerance and status quo. What does that mean? I think it's going to mean Ming just can't handle being this wounded and not having a place to stay. He's not going to be happy with just going on like it's no big deal. I think he's gonna want to find a place to sit on. So much so that he might even be willing to go back to the village if it comes to that. So I'm gonna roll an investigation check again. We're gonna look harder this time, and so I'm gonna give Ming advantage because he's really putting energy into searching for it. All right, there we go. So we got 18. That's definitely going to be okay. So he's walking on the path, and he's kind of got his staff. He's walking on it. He finally sees off in the distance. It's kind of off a path to the corner. He sees a little bitty path leading to a small cave. Now he's going to go up to this cave cautiously because it's the middle of the mountains, right? Who knows what could be there? But still, he's got to find a place to rest. And so he goes to the entrance of this cave, and he kind of taps on the entrance with his staff, and it echoes. Ta, 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 ta. He goes, what else am I going to do? I've got to go in. I've got to find a place to sit. Got to find a place to rest. So remember, there's no settlements. Like, this is the wilderness. We're in the middle of nowhere. Oh, okay. So here's the question. Is there anything in the cave? Fate chart. Is there anything of the unsavory sort in this cave? Anything dangerous? I think it's 50-50. 38. That is a yes. There is something dangerous in this cave. Of course there is. Of course there's something dangerous in this cave. All right. The question is what? Middle of the mountains. What kind of deadly creatures live in caves? Oh no. So he goes inside. He taps again on the walls. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. And it echoes through the cave. He can't see very much past the entrance. It's kind of pitch black inside. He's got a torch, but we're going to put off on using that as long as possible. He's like, okay. I've got to rest here for a little bit. So he's going to take a short rest. We're going to take a short rest, and we're going to spend 3 hit die. So it's 3d8 to get back some health points. All right, but it makes me feel a little bit more, it's about half health now. It makes me feel a little bit more confident. All right, so while he's sitting there resting, and it's again cleaning his wound, just making sure it sits, and he's just taking a break. He hears a from inside the cave. He hears it again. A deep, deep growl, gutter. And if he hears a lighter growl, and another one, and they get louder and closer, and he hears a and little bitty, and his heart drops. Even though he's not like an outdoorsy, like he's not a ranger, right? He's spent his whole life in the monastery in the village. Like, he doesn't travel. This is his first time. Even he knows what this is. He has wandered into the den of a mama bear and her cubs. This is the worst case scenario. He can hear them coming out of the cave. We gotta get out of here, but I don't want to just bolt. I want to see if we can get away a little bit more stealth-like. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna roll a perception check for the bear, and I'm gonna roll a stealth check for Ming. So stealth check for Ming is 13 plus 3, 16. It's a pretty good number there. And then 14, so 16, 14. Ming gets away. Whew. So he's able to, he hears it coming, he quickly grabs his staff and pads himself away. So he kind of rushes out the path as quickly as he can. He kind of hides, he kind of climbs up into some rocks a little bit, hides there, hunkers down, and that's when he sees a mama bear and 3 of her cubs walking out of the cave, going off to look for food or something. Oh, that would have been really, 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 really bad if he had gotten caught up in that. Woo! All right, so we avoided that, but here's the problem. He left about mid-morning. He's walked till about midday, got attacked by the wolves, hid, but now it's about mid-afternoon. It's going to get dark in about 3 or 4 hours, and so we got to find a place to camp for the night. Oh, Ming is not an outdoorsman. He doesn't know what to look for. He doesn't know any of this. What was he think? Those are the thoughts running through Ming's head. What am I thinking coming out here like this, like I know what I'm doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm completely lost. Even I, though, can read the setting sun. I know which way west is. I know that I've looked at maps. I've seen the world in a map form. He knows to go west. That gets him to the desert. That gets him to where the undead came from, the direction they came from. So he's going to find a place to camp for the night. Now, I'm going to roll a nature check, which he's not proficient in. He's not trained in. Nothing. So it's literally luck. So 10 plus chaos rank 5, plus another 2 to make it 17, because he does not know anything. In the middle of the mountains, where do you camp in the middle of the mountains that's safe? So it's basically, this is a Hail Mary. This is a Hail Mary. He's got to find a place to camp out. Otherwise, he's boned. Yes! You think I'm lying? Look at that, baby. Look at that natural, beautiful 20. You know, this doesn't happen every single day. It doesn't happen whenever I need it to. This only happens beautiful. So, he's thinking, I've got to find somewhere safe. Somewhere that is actually going to keep me out of harm's way and out of animals' reach. Up a tree. That's got to be the best place to be. So he looks and as he's going west. He still has a couple hours, but he's always keeping an eye out for, somewhere to look. And obviously, he's looking for places that he can climb up in a tree that's stable enough to support his weight and also high enough to deter animals to come. And about just as the sun sets over the horizon and the twilight hour hits, he sees it. A tree right up, a little up the mountain path. He sees it. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's a nice big alpine tree. It's going to be able to hold his weight. He's way up high there. No problem. Now here's the question: can he climb up there in his condition? Yes, he's got acrobatics trained and everything. So I'm going to roll that with advantage because he's a monk. He can do this no problem. And he does 15 plus 6 equals 21. He quickly goes up to the top. The branch is huge, and it's also got a couple branches next to it, long enough, wide enough for him to lay down comfortably even. And so he relaxes a bit, and he double checks his wounds, make sure it's nice and sealed up, it's coagulating and scarring nice. That's wrapped up. He's fine. He's found a place to camp for the night. Starts munching on some rations and decides to go to sleep. So with that, I think we're going to end our scene and end our session there today. Ming has kind of started on his journey west to figure out where the source of the undead have come, and already we're hitting a snag, right? Already we're hitting a really rough patch. So this does not bode well for Ming at all. He's gotta obviously find someone who knows how to travel through the wilderness. He's not gonna be able to do this. I can't keep getting lucky, right? The tree was lucky. I can't keep getting that. So next session he's probably gonna be looking for. Obviously we're going west still, but you need to be on the lookout for allies on the way. Be on the lookout for fellow travelers to ask them questions, stuff like that. So who knows? But still, Ming will continue on his journey next time. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you'll like and subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying it. I hope that you'll follow along for Ming's adventures and how much he just dreadfully sucks at everything. Should be fun. He's probably going to die soon, but that's okay. That's part of the system. I hope that you'll continue following along with me. Anyway, thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. God bless. I'm the Lone Dice Guy. My name is Kenneth. See you in the next one.